Hey everybody, you're watching Cadroll Hunter, and no, we're not switching the channel to be hockey cards. We're actually looking at coins. I got a bag of foreign coins and a tin full of commemoratives that we're going to look at today. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, this is James and you're watching my channel Cadroll Hunter. If you've been watching the channel, recently you saw I purchased a huge collection from the Morris family. Edgar Morris had collected coins for decades and the family sold those coins to me. I met with Tristan, his son. We came up with a price and I was fortunate enough to share his story and his coins with you guys. Well, this is the purchase that keeps on giving because Tristan contacted me and said, you know what? We found a bunch of foreign coins and some commemoratives and wanted to see if you'd be interested. And he didn't ask for any more money. He just wanted them to find a good home. So what we're going to do is just have a look and see what we've got here. I suspect that these might be a combination of coins that Edgar got perhaps while traveling. So it might have been change or money that he had when he was traveling or places he went to. And possibly just things that he found or collected over the years and put in a tin or a bucket, or in this case, maybe a baggie. So we've got those. We'll look through those and see what we got, if there's anything interesting there. And in this Upper Deck hockey tin, we have a bunch of commemoratives. Oh, and that might be some more foreigns right there as well. And then a bunch of stuff here that we'll look at and see what we got. I'm going to get them out of here and we'll get them organized and we'll take a peek together. So I just dumped out the commemoratives here and you can see that there are some provincials. There's a bunch of colorized ones. That's really neat. And if you remember, Edgar's family decided to help organize the coin collection at one point in time by getting flips and putting them in flips. And most of these seem to be in pretty nice condition here. And so anything that looked like it might have been interesting or different, they flipped up. So it looks like we got a lot of colorized commemoratives. I'm going to just organize them by the year and type, and we'll take a peek and see what we got. All right, we got tons of color and commemoratives that aren't color. Interestingly, there is a full set of the 1992 provincial commemoratives. This was for Confederation. We've got every province and territory. There were 12 made. The low mintage 1992 New Brunswick. That was the first one that was issued. And we have one of all of the rest. That's really, really cool. Then we get into the colorized commemoratives. We've got the 2006 pink ribbon for breast cancer research. We got a whole bunch of them and they all look really nice. Couple of really nice, or a few really nice 2008 Remembrance Day poppies. We got 3 of the colorized Cindy Clausen. We didn't get the men's or women's hockey, so no chance to find the men's hockey race 2, but that's okay. The 2010 double poppy, we got a couple of those guys, both looking beautiful. And then the legendary nature, we got a bunch of all 3 of them. We got the orca, the peregrine falcon, and the wood bisons. So we got a whole bunch of those to add to the collection. And then in the War of 1812, we got some Tecumseh, we got some Laura Secord, and we got the Sir Isaac Brock. The only one we didn't get was the De Salaberry, so that's all right. We got a beautiful 2017. That's the Hope for a Green Future. So everything that we got here was a quarter, except for this one here. We got one of my absolute favorites. It is the 2017 Dance of the Spirits. This is the glow-in-the-dark toonie, and this might be considered the Snow on the Mountains one. If you see the white over top, could be considered an error coin. It's basically just the positioning of the colorized portion there, but it makes it look like there's snow on the mountains. It's actually pretty cool, or snow on the trees, I should say, I guess. And that is a gorgeous coin, one of my all-time favorites, and still one I don't think I found coin roll hunting. It's a really, really tough one to get. I'll set all these aside, and we'll get into the four and see what we got there. I've gotten all the commemoratives out of the way, and I have liberated all of the foreign coins from those baggies. And there's lots of stuff here. I'm seeing a lot of British stuff, some Euro stuff. I saw Mexican there, and a few things that I don't recognize right off the bat. So what I'm going to do is start to sort this out by country and denomination. And particularly, we'll see what's the oldest stuff that we get in here, if there's anything interesting. I don't see anything that would be silver at first glance, and it's not likely that there is. This looks like probably more modern circulating stuff, but I mean, there is a 1967 penny with some red on it from Great Britain. That is very cool. Okay, I'll start sorting this out, and we'll take a look and see what we end up with. Okay, I got everything sorted out here. We actually have 24 countries represented here, which is pretty awesome. And a number of them have a bunch of denominations, but not every country. We'll start over here on the left, and we've got euro cents here. The really cool thing about this is that each one of these could be minted by a different country. So we'll take a look at this 50 euro cent here, nice and shiny. This is from 2006, and this is minted in Ireland or for Ireland. I'm not even sure. Can you tell me if each country's mintage is actually produced in that country? It may very well be the case. All of these countries had facilities to produce coins before they went to the euro cent. And then let's take a look at this 20. This one is Italian from 2011. So you want to check all of your euro cents. You can have all sorts of different varieties, and some are more scarce than others. Our most plentiful are from the United Kingdom, and we've got lots of different denominations. And there's a couple of interesting things happening here. One is that UK currency has made a bunch of changes over the years. So decimalization was when we went from the old system that had 240 pennies or pence in a pound to 100 in a pound. And so the currency or the coin has just changed a bunch of times from pre-decimal to post-decimal, and some denominations were gotten rid of entirely. So we got 1 shilling here from 1960. This would have been equal to 12 pence, and there were 20 shillings in a pound. So 240 pennies in a pound. So this denomination with decimalization was no longer around. And so we got a whole bunch. We got a mix also of some older, some newer, and some of the sizes changed. So here's 10 pence here, and you can see that at one point they were just a little bit bigger. So this new pence is after decimalization, but a little bit later they made them even smaller. But we got some oldies here. Check this out. We got 2 3-pence coins from 1942. And that means we've got King George VI. That is pretty awesome that we got a couple of oldies there. We got a whole big stack of 5 pence, and you can see the size change there. 2 pence. And then 1 penny. We got a couple of 1967s, and we also got a 1963. And then the half pence. So there would have been 480 half pennies in a pound. Can you imagine carrying around a pound in half pennies? But we got an oldie here too. Check that out, if I can get it to focus. It's a 1954. So we've got Elizabeth, and that is the laureate portrait. Beautiful old coin. Next up, we've got Germany. We got 3 different denominations, 10 Pfennig, 5 Pfennig, and 1 Pfennig. In my experience, 1950 was a very common year for all these coins, but we did get something a little bit older on top. This 10 Pfennig here is from 1949. And the German coins were made at a number of different mints. And this one here, it has a J mint mark above the 10. So you'll want to check if you're collecting German coins, what mint marks you have there. They'll all be different, of course. Then we have the Netherlands, and we got a few older ones. There's 1 Gulden there from the late 60s, 25 cents from 1964. That one looks pretty nice. We got 10 cents, and then we got a 5 cent from the 50s. And these two here right beside, these are Dutch coins as well, but these are actually made specifically for the Netherlands Antilles. This one from the 80s. So 25 cents and 10 cents. That was a Caribbean territory. We got some Mexican coins, and Mexican coins are really interesting. Well, we got a really nice old one here. Check this out from the 40s, 20 centavos. I love this design. I have one of these from the 60s that's in really, really nice condition, and the detail on the 20 centavo coins is really remarkable. I just love it. One of the interesting things, though, is that the peso was revalued at one point in time. And so when they did that, this is a new peso. It's really obliterated here from 1984. And you'll see the one below that, they just got rid of the N for the new peso at one point, very much like the new pennies in Britain. But one interesting fact you may not be aware of is that when the 10 peso came out, this was when it said new pesos, 10 nuevo pesos, the center core of this coin was made of sterling silver. I haven't found one in circulation. I think I got one at a coin show because I really wanted to have a silver peso. But it was really remarkable because these were put into circulation well after silver had been removed from circulation from most countries. So you'd be hard-pressed to find one if you were coin roll hunting in Mexico. I'm not even sure if that's a thing amongst Mexicans, but I have coin roll hunted in Mexico, but I didn't find the silver peso. And we got some from France. We got half franc. That's from the 60s. There's 20 centimes. And then this little guy right here from 1969. I love the design of this. This one's in beautiful shape. 1 centime. Just a very simple design. République Française. I just love that one. And it's just in beautiful condition. Lovely little coin. Next up, we've got some Swiss coins. That's 10 Rappen. And you want to check these Swiss coins because the design has been the same for, I think, over 100 years. And early versions of these coins were actually made of silver. We didn't get any of those here. These ones there from the 80s. This one here was 1974, so that's not silver. And then, well, Trinidad and Tobago, that's in the wrong pile, but I'll put that over here with coins that we got just one from a country in there. We'll move on here. We've got, some Japanese coins. This is 500 yen, and this is a beautiful coin. Check this out. Look at those flowers and leaves. Just gorgeous. So 500 yen, there's a 50 yen and 1 yen. We got some Greek coins. This one's really, really light. This is aluminum. 20 lepta from Greece. This one's from 1969. And then this guy right here, 10 lepta. This one from 1964. So these are still some pretty old international coins. We got some here from Bermuda, 25 cents and 1 cent. And then these guys here, I had to look it up because every time I see one of these, and I've found some of these before, I always wonder, what is this country? Because the letters don't actually align with what in my head should be Albania, because that's what this is. This is an Albanian coin. 20 leke. This one's from the 90s. It's pretty worn. And then this one here, pretty recent, 2020, Republic of Albania. 5 leke. And then we got a bunch where we only got one from each country. This one is una peseta from Spain. This is from 1953, so that's an oldie right there. Beautiful coin. That's awesome. We even got something from Iceland, and I recently got some coins, my first coins from Iceland, so that's pretty cool. This is 50, I can't remember what the denominations are, but say 50 cents there. This is 1 crown from the 70s from Norway. You see that Norge? I'm not sure if that's how you would say it. This is 5 francs from Belgium from the 80s. Very interesting art on that one. 1 grosze from Poland. So we're all over the map here. We saw the Trinidad. This is Sweden, 1 crown from the 80s. So we're spanning the decades here. This is a beautiful one, Singapore, 10 cents in really nice condition. Speaking of nice condition, check this one out. 1990, 1 bolivar from Venezuela. This one is in just gorgeous condition. That's in a mint state, absolutely, which is remarkable. It was in this bag of coins. Love that. And then here, oh goodness, I'm going to have to look this one up because I've got some of these, but I can't remember exactly what this one is. And a quick look up on Google Lens tells me this is 5 yen from Japan. I figured it was Japanese, but, and I got to find my Japanese coins, but it's 5 yen. There we go. And we got a couple more countries here. One is that we got some from the US, a couple of 2020s. And of course, with the 2020s, you always want to check and see if they've got the West Point mint mark, the little W. This one's out of Denver because they had very limited mintages from West Point. They were only 2 million each, I think. This is the Marsh Billings Rockefeller, another one that had a limited run from West Point. This is also the Denver. And then, of course, we got the Bicentennial Drummer Boy, which is a really popular commemorative quarter, which is pretty awesome. And then just run-of-the-mill 1987 Denver penny. Why? Who knows? But, we'll take it. And then we got a Canadian. We got a 1979 penny. So we got a little bit of copper here. And we got a couple things that are not even actual coins. Check this out. Department of Highway, Class 1 vehicle, Ontario, some sort of a token. Department of Highways, Ontario. I don't think the department is now called the Department of Highways. It's probably the Ministry of Transportation, but that is interesting. And then this thing that I don't think is actually a coin. I think this is actually just a replica of a Chinese, perhaps cash coin or something like that. It just looks too new and doesn't quite look like it's intended. Yeah, it's intended to look like an old coin, but so some kind of a token or metal or something like that. We got tons of cool stuff. I love looking through old international coins. You just never know what you're going to find. Sometimes you get lucky and you find old silver because people just don't know enough about the foreign coins, the international coins, to know what is what. And most people don't even know what might be low mintage. So I really like looking these up. I'll do that for everything here. I'm not going to do that with you guys because we spent a lot of time looking at these, but I'll look each of these up to see if any of these are collectible or more valuable. And that's kind of what makes looking through international coins more fun, is just learning more about them, the designs, the eras, understanding what these are all about. Each one of these is a little bit of history. And I love learning about history, and I'm very interested in international affairs and the time periods when these were minted and kind of what was happening in those countries at the time, what some of the images on the coins are intended to depict. Well, thank you so much for watching that with me, and thank you so much to Tristan and the Morris family for sending along another little goodie bag of stuff here from Edgar's collection. I really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun for me to look through it, and I was really happy to be able to share this with everybody watching. So thank you so much. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, Cadroll Hunter, hit that subscribe button so you can find out when I have new videos coming out. I have new videos coming out all the time. Sometimes they're about collection purchases, looking at international coins, coin roll hunting. If it's about numismatics and Canada, and sometimes internationally, you'll probably find something on my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. We'll see you again next time. The sponsors of today's video are Lighthouse Canada and the Charlton Press. Lighthouse Canada is the leading supplier of high-quality numismatic supplies in Canada, and the Charlton Press is the leading publisher of coin and paper money catalogs and price guides for Canadian collectors. Go check out their online stores today and use the exclusive discount code CRH20 for 20% off all your purchases.